G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Militia Carbine. This poor man's Thompson is based on a real-life firearm called the Spitfire Carbine, which is basically a cheap version of the Thompson submachine gun that was made for the civilian market. And there's a couple of legal things they had to do. This thing fires in semi-automatic only, which is reflected in the attachments here. You can only make this thing semi-auto, so it's a little bit of a shame. But as it turns out, it was fairly easy to modify this thing to be fired in fully automatic fashion. So easy that the government banned these things. So maybe out there's going to be less than street legal versions of the Militia Carbine that will be able to fire in fully automatic fashion. But for now, we're stuck with a semi-automatic approach, which is fine because the damage that we're getting out of this, as we segue into attachments, 147? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Good start. So we'll do that, and we'll move over to the barrels. We'll find the longest barrel that we can. This long here vented barrel gives me 203 range with a 53 accuracy, a little bit of a boost, and hopefully some recoil control along with that. It's semi-automatic anyway, so I don't think the recoil is going to get on top of us too much. And we've got to worry about the animations of all things getting in the way of what we're actually shooting, which this thing has custom animations, as you'd expect from any Wasteland DAC mod that's getting around these days. And you can throw stocks on this thing, including makeshift stocks for that raidery look, full stocks, gunslinger stocks with what? Magazines or bullets on the side? Nope, just a pouch, that's fine. A lightened stock, or a recoil compensating stock with a recoil compensating widget on the back there. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's like heavier wood or something, although you don't want it too heavy because you'll throw the balance out like the real life Thompson and have lots of vertical up and down recoil, and that's not fun to deal with when you're firing 45 auto Colt rounds. Next, we've got the magazines, and you can have a large magazine, quick eject versions of that, medium, small. Yeah, pretty much what you'd expect out of a weapon like this. No drum options, unfortunately, but a large stick mag quick eject is a pretty good thing for a Thompson facsimile, of course. Next, we've got the sights. You can have folded versions, glowing versions of the iron sights, either folded or not folded. Then you've got your standard degenerate DAC sort of set up here with the attachments, including a little carry handle or just some sort of riser that looks almost like a carry handle, but you probably can't get your fingers in there. You probably don't want to put your fingers in there, but there's an option. Also options for a short scope, medium scope, and a long scope, which for a weapon with 203 range, you could probably get away with, but, I don't know, maybe for realism's sake, that might raise an eyebrow. And it's also got this night vision scope, which looks like a varmint rifle scope from Fallout New Vegas. That's cute. That's also kind of cool. We'll throw on, let's just go for a basics setup here. I mean, we've done this 100 times, but we'll go for a reflex sight. Does the holographic sight get a little bit closer? Ooh. Maybe I'll go holographic. It's a little bit closer to your eye, so more sight vision. Next, we've got the muzzle attachment. You can have a flash hider, compensator, muzzle booster, which does increases your fire rate, reduces your range. It's not a significant amount because we're not firing in fully automatic. Also, that's a muzzle attachment from an assault rifle in the vanilla game. Good reuse of assets there, but I see that. There's also an option for a suppressor, which doesn't actually reduce your range that much at all, which is great. Normally the game does that for balancing purposes, but like realistically speaking, you get more nominal barrel length there, so why would it reduce your range by that much, unless you're using something like subsonic rounds. There's also a foregrip attachment here, so if you want to make it look wood and nice and pristine, you can do that. Apparently, the light one is going to give you better recoil than the heavier one. That's interesting. I feel like that one looks cooler anyway, so we'll throw that on. We've also got a legendary effect attachment thing from legendary modification, so we could make this furious fun if we wanted to be overpowered, but we won't do that. And a little bit of an extraneous accessory you'll attach on the side, a flashlight, a recon laser, or a VATS targeting module. Pick what you want. We'll go for a recon laser because I think they're kind of cool. And there's our Militia Carbine, suppressed advanced version. Let's get a couple more of these and maybe we'll find some uniques. And hopefully they're automatic. Maybe. We'll see. The Militia Carbine is injected onto level list. You should start seeing this at level 12. It's here at Claire's, but you'll also find it on Raiders and also Triggermen as well. That makes sense for those guys to be carrying that. And it's for 85 caps, this version that I found, which is good. That's obviously buffed by all the charisma perks that I've taken, but still, that is some good bang for your buck. That's a bargain. That's a steal even. Our first location is the Commonwealth Bank here in Boston. Now, this place is an unmarked location, so you want to go to the Faneuil Hole and just head south. And if you see these raiders, and there's also a turret out the door, bank there on the wall, then you've come to the right place, yes. So all you need to do is either A, take that blue door and walk up some stairs, but if you'd rather sit through a loading screen and you've got a little bit of a, if you've got a attention span that can take it, you can just take an elevator up. And once the elevator opens, proceed to this room here, and then you want to open this terminal. If you don't have expert hacking, either level up or bring Nick Valentine along with you, but open this up quick, smart. First try. Once the door is unlocked, you can interact with it. It's not a heavy vault door opening, but it's kind of cool. So it'll make some noise, the thing will unlock, and then it'll open right up, and then you'll find Devastator on the ground. Ooh, that's cool. It looks like one of those planes from the Second World War. It's got that paint scheme about it. Also, it's automatic. There it is. I saw the VATS enhanced thing. Yeah, that's cool, but it's automatic. That's what we want to see out of this thing. Also, fun fact about this vault door, it swings shut harder than the door when Jack Ginnivan left Collingwood Football Club. Bam! You don't want to get caught in that. That's a heavy door, but let's move on to the next one. The next location you want to find is a place called Leighton Towers. This place is on the map and you'll find it just here. If you have this place unlocked already and you do fast travel to it, just be warned, you will spawn in a pile of raiders, so beware of that. And you got a couple of options. You can either A, go through the cell and maybe take the stairs up, but you can also take these fire escapes up all the way. Or if you've got a grappling hook, skip all of that entirely and just soar right up, and then you can go into this part of Leighton Towers. And at the very top where this door is, you'll find Furious Flakka. Oh, it's explosive. Ooh, that's brilliant. Also, I don't really pay attention that much to the textures they put on this, but I think this is really cool. I quite like the red and the yellow scheme with the caution stripes there. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Looks like it's from a raider, and it's where we found it, and it's explosive. Just good things all around. Unfortunately, it's not automatic, but we can't have all the things that we want, can we? Alrighty, we're finally here at Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our Spitfire Carbine in first person, but you've already seen it like this, so we'll skip straight over to third person. The first thing I've noticed about this is it's got this gigantic hole up there. I'm sure that's supposed to be there, but it's closed a little bit when you decide to reload. Oh, that's a third-person vanilla game submachine gun reload right there, because you put it in through the side for some reason. Interesting. Anyways, so that's just going to allow any wasteland dust to get in there and gum up the works and jam the thing, but we don't have to worry about wasteland dust because A, we're good at cleaning our weapons, and B, we're playing Fallout. It's a fantasy wasteland, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyways, the second one I made is sniper status with probably overkill, but it's got a medium scope, and whoops, I didn't mean to do that. That's not the scope steady button. It's actually Alt. Anyways, so yeah, this is going to be a fairly potent sniper weapon. If I can get this thing working, and it doesn't look like it's got a ton of spread to deal with, I think the main thing is we're going to have to aim below, because the recoil animation here is pushing our, it's making our bullets appear above our crosshair there, which is going to be very disorienting, but I think we'll get used to it. Next, I've got this one. This has got a reflex sight and a different setup. It's got a muzzle booster on it, so it's got a little bit higher fire rate. Good use of vanilla game sounds here. I feel like that's going to be just fine for our purposes. And lastly, oh no, second lastly, we've got our automatic version. I kept these looking the same, except I gave this one some glowing iron sights, so it's a little bit easier to see. And yep, fully automatic. Fires nice and fast too. And lastly, we've got Furious Flakka, the explosive version. It had a flippy uppy sight, so I just made it glow instead so I can shoot stuff easier. Anyways, let's begin. We're going sniper status first, and we'll see how far that takes us before we have to bring out our super legendary versions, but we'll see how we go. It's not too bad damage for a start, and as expected, we get sniper knockdowns from this thing, which is really good news. Now, I'm wondering how much AP this is going to consume if I were to use it in VATS. Probably about the standard amount. We'll go for a critical there, just to get that guy sorted with. And that one who's standing out the back will get a untimely sniper knockdown, and we'll be able to completely get out of the way of my bullets. That's unfortunate. But now, when we fire this thing in VATS, that is the slow motion VATS that are activated just then, the recoil is barely noticed at all. So you'll find that it's pretty easy to shoot stuff like this. We'll go over to our reflex sight, and they're getting a little bit closer. As they're getting into more optimum range for this thing, I feel like the range is in a pretty good state at the moment. They get into a medium range, and I'm shredding them for 800 damage a shot. They'll say the recoil animation is making it a little bit hard to aim, but of course you've always got third person as an option if you feel like it, and there's no like recoil muzzle pushing anything to fight against, so perhaps if you're struggling to aim with the animations itself, pushing the sight picture out a little bit, then you can always switch over to third person and do pretty well with that. That being said, let's go over to this one for the muzzle boosting. Pretty fast, I guess. You're not really going to get too much out of your muzzle booster unless you throw an automatic receiver on it. I think. This one should be fairly optimal for utilizing in VATS as well. I clicked so fast that my AP evaporated in like a second, but still, I was able to get a couple of easy hits on that guy's face. Which allowed me to take him down fairly quickly. Now, for a level 12 spawning weapon, possibly it is punching above its intended level weight right now, but she's holding her own. She's doing a pretty good job, I might add. Having just all of that extra damage. I suppose, under normal circumstances, I'd probably be running this automatic anyway. But since I'm using the Rifleman-backed perks, and you can tell that it is Rifleman because if you put a proper scope on it, you will get knockdowns. You do get a slight arm penetration with your Rifleman-based weapons, so that's sort of helping offset the somewhat limited damage, limited in comparison to big sniper rifles that would better utilize those Rifleman perks for the purposes of sniping, but still, all round, very easy weapon to control. We're looking at sort of maybe beyond combat rifle performances here, which is, the combat rifle is not nothing. I rate that weapon very highly, but this thing is just rolling over everything pretty easily. I suppose its fatal flaw might be its range, but we're still doing a pretty good job even from back here. Granted, we were getting headshots though, and would you peek out for a second, please? Alright, time to bring the fast ones out. And, whoops, gotta make sure we reload this thing before we begin. And now, feel the power of illegal civilian weaponry. It's gonna kill you that fast. Actually, I think every firearm's illegal in California. You gotta get one of those black market dealers if you want a gun in that state, or you could just move away to a better one. Texas Lone Star, get on it. Anyways, through some careful burst firing because the sights are jiggling in my eyeballs and I can't see them, we can easily finish that gun. Oh, okay, yep. I sort of forgot about the AP thing about it, and that is going to make it a particularly potent weapon. If I was using this thing, say, for a slow motion VATS playstyle, we'll do this like a Call of Duty door breach. You get a lot of shots off, and I realize I haven't used the explosive one just yet, so as the idiot savant procs, that was a timely roll of that, I think, but oh, we're done. Okay, let's do something I haven't done in a while. Let's run the gauntlet. We'll give Swan a rest today. He's injured. He's done his hamstring, so he'll be back next time, but we'll kill his brother, Gerald. All right, let's kick this off properly. Since I didn't kill any gunners with the explosive variant, we'll quickly clean up what's around here and maybe beyond. Excuse me. You're under attack, gunners. Please show yourselves. And as expected, it's going to clean up these guys pretty fast. So we'll keep going, and with the new grapple hook mod, I can make this this transit time much easier. So we'll keep on shooting these guys with the explosive version that I've got, because why not? I'm fairly certain that one just screamed, and we've saved your life, Mr. Scavenger, so you owe me like 250 caps or something. Next, we've got the bears, and I've also found Vault 81, which is, according to this mod, right there. It's the Vault experiment where they put a bear in there, and as it turns out, he's not immune to gunfire, so experiment failed. Next, we've got super mutants. Now, you'd think with a target that massive I wouldn't miss, but here we are. So these warlords, they're level scaling tanky dudes. So these guys don't mess around. And even still, well, he exploded in a different way, but still, he's gone. That guy managed to survive the explosion that happened in there. But yeah, these guys aren't standing up to much of this punishment given out by this one. Now, I'm thinking that we might be able to have a decent shot on that guy as well. A coin flip, but honestly, with explosives, near enough is good enough, so... I mean, we don't need to generate crits, I'm just doing this because I can, but still. Concentrated fire is, tapped up our accuracy there to a point where we were hitting everything towards the end, which was great, and none of these guys have any chance against this. Now that they're standing all around together, we can extend our DPS a little bit more by hitting multiple at once. Just absolutely blitzing everything. I suppose this would be too good if it was automatic, right? That'd be a little bit overpowered. You don't want a cheaper version of spray and pray, although you could have made some sort of funny pun about that and called it something. Something that I can't come up with as of this moment. But still, now we're on to the big boy, which he has got a couple of super mutants falling around him, so if we can get a couple of those guys taken care of. Or I could just, oh, the mysterious stranger showed up, and he's gonna aggro everyone. Ah, a tactical nuke version of the mysterious stranger, very timely. So whilst they're charging this position, I'll just sort of try to take them out as they run along, and this weapon is pretty competent at everything that I'm doing. Maybe you might suffer for long-range sniping for stuff that you want to kill absolutely in one shot, but honestly, 45s, I mean, they're kind of heavy and expensive, but it's doing better than what a combat rifle would. I'm gonna have to creep a little bit closer to see more of that damage, so why don't we do that? That's better. Caution for now. Let him be immune and he's getting up animation. That's not cool. That's some sick breakdancing there, friend. He's making the most of his appearance, I'll tell you that much. Is the mysterious stranger still around? He was for a bit. I think he got his full measure out, which was devastating damage. Normally he'd turn around and get crushed instantly by a big man like him. Big thing, not really a man anymore. More than a man, like a 10,000 green men in that one. Anyways, so that's him dealt with, and the gauntlet being absolutely crushed by this. So I'm finding this to be a versatile weapon, way more versatile and effective at a lot of applications than I was thinking. Whether that's by design, I'm not really sure, but I always like to see that. It's sort of with the guns in the vanilla game can do that very well. They all do that very well, especially like the combat rifle. That's modular as all hell. So I do like it when mods just happen to have that same sort of thing. Also, I do like it when they've got their own specific roles, but this one just seems to be like a jack of all trades, master at not sniping. So there's little I can complain about with this thing. Also, on your back, it looks like that. It all works out pretty well, don't you think? I think it does. Carla does. Okay, last thing I want to do is use Devastator, and I've souped it up. I've got a reflex sight and a suppressor now, so we're going for a stealth commando kill on the bear, because this guy caused me a lot of trouble last time, so it is time for revenge with a more than adequate weapon. So we'll get some shots down range, and that's pretty good. I probably could have gone a little bit better utilizing VATS, and let's do that now, actually. Why not? I've got all of these crits to utilize, so let's send them down range and see what we can do. Concentrated fire gives me so much damage. So much damage with those crits. That's another one. There's just a little bit of deliver in here, even though it's not a Bolter PBK. Anyways, so now we can take out the little ones and expertly dodge them like that. I'm just jumping. I'm not actually that... Actually, I'm 20% faster than usual, but being able to sidestep the bears, it's an art form. Also, if you activate VAFs, you get all of the jet benefits of being super fast. And I think I just saw teleporting bear giblets. Okay, that kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm just jumping around these guys. I'm not even putting any effort into dodging these guys. It's just happening. Am I doing it? Oh. Okay, for those of you not in the know, that was a bloody mess explosion kill that just happened. You get a little bit of a chance to kill the person or thing sitting next to it, and that's what happened. And honestly, the face says it all. Yeah, I'm pretty shocked about that too, but... Oh, I got an instigating Militia Carbine out of that. What's the opposite of Murphy's Law? Because literally everything has gone right today. Which is good because I had a shit day at work. Anyway, so that there was the Militia Carbine. If you want to see this thing in your game, check out link in the description. If you want to see Carla in your game, she's in a follower mod. Download that. Comes with Kira and Vikkie as well. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys.